Hi, welcome to WatchStuDo, and today we're going to tackle this old sideboard. It's quite a nice piece, it's quite large. I think it's probably a reproduction piece because I don't think the makeup of it lends itself to an old piece. So yeah, let's have a look, see what we can do with it. So like with every piece that I get, we always rub it down to the bare wood, just so we can get a good key for the paint to go on. It looks so nice when it's bare wood. It's nice and smooth, and it's just great when you can put a bit of wax on it just to bring out the colours of the wood. Yeah, first thing is get rid of these doors, then we can give them a good sanding properly. Just a couple of hinges there to take off. I actually hate doing hinges. The screws are always like really tight and you can't get a good grip on them sometimes. So use a multitude of screwdrivers to get them off, but we get there in the end. Done it some with the sanding, so just using a normal sander here. I can't remember what grip paper it was, but just enough to take it off. Not too harsh though to go too deep, but just to take that top varnish off really. Just do the same with the doors there, just to get that varnish off. And then use a bit of sandpaper just to get all those edges that you can't get with the actual Obsul sander. This is the bit I hate, when you've got to use your hand rather than the actual tools to sand it down, getting all those corners. And if you don't take all that varnish off, then the paint just won't stick and it'll look terrible, and it just easily chips afterwards. So it's really worth spending the time to get all that off if you can. So I'm going to keep the top natural wood. I'm not going to paint the top. So I'd like to get a bit of wax on here just to protect it really. So if any paint goes on it by mistake, then it's just easily, we can wipe it off. So just a little beeswax here, and it really brings out the colour of that wood. It's really nice actually when it's done.
No. No. Okay. Which rolls? Which rolls? Which rolls? The black one? Oh. Hello. Is that right? Have you gone with you? Is that going with you? She's gone. She's take a bath. Huh? Is she? Where was it? Right, well, I'll pronounce it. No. Don't remember. See you later.
So rather than dirty the roller trays, I always use a little bit of tin foil if I can. It doesn't always work, and I think here I put my finger through it, so I'll turn it round. It just saves you cleaning it after. If you're only doing a little bit, you're not doing a lot of work, then you know saves cleaning that tray afterwards. So these are the rollers that we use, the microfiber rollers. 2 Footy Blokes is the make. Got recommended to me, and they are really good. Makes the paint really smooth. Again here, I literally dip the roller into the paint and put it into the tray, just rather than tip it out, and it always ends up all over the place, all over the tin when you try and tip the paint out. It's just a bit cleaner this way. Yeah, so we're going to put plenty on here. We'll give it a couple of coats, but we really want to get into every bit of the cracks of the wood really, so there's no wood showing through. And those rollers really help making it really smooth. I'm using a Sharpie here just to do the edges, so I've painted these in the past, but when you get the thickness of the paint, sometimes the drawers don't shut properly and then they start chipping and it just looks really awful. So I found if you use a Sharpie just to colour those edges in, it looks really neat and tidy, but you don't get that extra layer of paint there on the side. Again, the doors, a couple of coats just to make it nice and flat. Make sure you don't overdo it, but don't underdo it at the same time. So it needs to be like an even layer of paint, just so it'll dry really flat and really nice. Now it's dry, we're going to put the furniture back on there. So this came with it, it's really nice wood. Again, as I say, I think it's reproduction, but actually it looks really smart on there. It'll pop out a little bit. And we'll put a little bit of gold paint over the top, just brush it over slightly just to enhance it a little bit. So now onto the drawers. So we're going to use some paper here just over the drawers. We'll try and keep the same pattern so it just follows through from top to bottom of the drawers. We just measured it up and cut a slip here just to see. I'm just putting it on there just to see if it will fit. And then we use a bit of PVA glue mixed with a bit of water and glue that down. It sticks really well, but then it doesn't soak the paper too much. It's really good. It's just a cheap pot of PVA that we use. Yeah, you see, don't put too much on to wet the paper too much, but you just need enough on there for it to stick. I also do the edges of the drawers just to make sure that it gets really to the edge actually, so it sticks down, it gives it a good adhesion on that side. And then we just stick it flat down there, making sure there's no air bubbles in it. Pretty much like wallpapering, to be honest. It's quite simple, quite easy. And then the edges we're just going to trim off there. Just then we know it's right to the edge of the drawer itself. So they came with these nice knobs for the door, so we're going to again we're going to use those, re-put them on there. Like I say, we might touch it up with a little bit of gold just to enhance it a little bit. You can see here that the black paper that we've put on isn't black enough. So when I put it on, you can see it's quite bluey grey. So I decided at that point that I can't leave it like that because it just doesn't tie in. It's just going to stand out and it just looks like paper's been stuck on in the middle. It's just completely wrong colour, really. So this top drawer must have been really well used compared to the others. You can see there how much it's worn down. It is a softwood, so yeah, that's going to happen, but I've never seen that much before. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that edge off it completely and replace it. Now you can see here there's a stop for where the drawer goes in. There's a couple of drawers where it hasn't got one on the other side, so it doesn't sit flush. It goes in a little bit too much on one side, so we're going to recreate that onto the other side here. Should be easy enough, just a little piece of wood, we'll glue that in there. There you go, just a tiny piece of wood there, just glued in. It should hold fine with a bit of PVA glue. Yeah, so this is where I decided to mask up the gold line in the middle, just so we can get some black paint on there, but obviously we don't want it to go on that gold line, and you need a really steady hand if you're going to do that, so it's easy just to mask it up, and then we can paint that centre bit black. The masking just takes forever because you need to get it actually right, so it's worth spending the time, but yeah, it just takes a long time. And then once we're done, we're just going to use that black paint again, just with a brush. Just go gently over the edges of the masking tape so it doesn't seep through. Not too much on your brush there, just gently go along that edge, just so you don't want it to bleed underneath that masking tape. Yeah, then once you've done it all, you just take that paper off, the masking tape off, and yeah, it looks quite decent, to be honest. It's nice that it's got that gold edge, that gold stripe in there, so I think it'll look really good. I've not done the middle bit, obviously, in between the gold stripes, but I think it's sort of, the contrast looks really good, to be fair. So I'm just going to use a multi-tool here, just so I can use the bottom of the drawer to get a flat edge, really, and just take that side off that's got the bow in it. And we'll just cut a strip of wood and glue that in there and just sort of create two new runners, really. Yeah, so we got some scrap wood here. Again, just use the tools that you've got. I've not got every tool. It'd be nice if we had a table saw for this, but we haven't. So I'm just going to mark off the height I need, and then use that multi-tool again just to cut a little strip off. Yeah, then just use a bit of wood glue and glue those strips into place. As long as they're pretty flat, then it should work fine. There's little Derek come to say hello while we're working outside. He's actually a lot faster than that when he's chasing the cat. But yeah, loving life in the sun. And there we have it, finished article. I think it looks quite good. I mean, I do love the dark furniture anyway. I pretty much do all my furniture restorations and paint them in a dark colour, whether it's dark, like the black or dark blue. But I think that paper looks really good there. I'm so glad I painted that middle bit. And as you can see, the pattern lines up. So yeah, looks really good. Really pleased with it. The interior is quite nice. So just give that a clean out, a quick sanding, and a quick waxing, and it was all good. So yeah, that was a really nice bit of furniture we did there. I got it really cheap. I always get my things cheap, so it was nice to actually turn that one around. Really enjoyed it. Again, pretty similar process to most of the things I do. Rub down paint, bit of paper, whether that's some wacky paper or that one was quite nice, refined paper really. Not a lot to do really, apart from that top runner on the drawer where we fixed that, but apart from that, really good. Really enjoyed that one, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching that, something a little bit different. Like I say, this channel is going to be a mix of everything really, so anything that I like doing. But yeah, if you like it, please give us a thumbs up, comment by all means. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching.